In this video, we will be discussing the Electoral College versus the popular vote. In the US, we have what is called the Electoral College, a group of people representing the states who formally cast votes for the election of the president and vice president. The Electoral College system was created by the Founding Fathers as a compromise between a popular vote by citizens and a vote by Congress, established in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. This section of the Constitution specifies the number of electors each state is entitled to. Each state has as many electoral votes as they do members of Congress, which can fluctuate based on the state's population. The Electoral College consists of 538 members, comprised of 435 representatives, 100 senators, and the 3 electors given to the District of Columbia. So how does the Electoral College work exactly? Each party running a candidate has their own group of electors in each state. This means that when voters go to the polls on Election Day, they're not actually voting directly for the preferred presidential candidate. Instead, they're voting for a group of electors who are pledged to vote for a certain party's candidate. Most states operate under a winner-take-all system, meaning the candidate that wins the popular vote wins all the electoral votes in that state. A majority of 270 electoral votes are needed to win the presidency. So why is this a problem? Some people disagree with the Electoral College system because they argue that it does not accurately reflect the popular vote. For example, let's say in Oregon, 51% of people voted for the Democratic candidate, and 49% of people voted for the Republican candidate. All 7 of Oregon's electoral votes would go towards the Democratic candidate, making it appear as if 100% of people supported the Democratic Party, when in reality, the Democratic candidate only won by a margin of 1%. Another way the Electoral College does not accurately reflect the popular vote is by making it possible for a candidate to lose the presidency, even if they win the popular vote. This is exactly what happened in the presidential election of 2000. George W. Bush, the Republican candidate, won the presidency by receiving 271 electoral votes. However, Bush's Democratic opponent, Al Gore, received about 550,000 more popular votes than Bush. This shows us how in some cases it is possible for a candidate to lose the popular vote and still secure enough electoral votes to win the election. This brings us to our next point. What could be a possible solution to this problem? One solution would be to have a direct, popular election. This means that the Electoral College would disappear and a national popular vote would be the deciding factor in electing the next president. How would this be a better system than the Electoral College? Here are 3 reasons why. The first is that it follows democratic principles. The Electoral College operates under the political structure of a representative republic, which is an indirect or representative democracy. Unlike a direct democracy, where the people themselves make decisions, representatives are elected to make decisions for them. However, many citizens believe that this system is unfair because it ignores the will of the people. There are over 300 million people living in the US, but only 538 actually decide who becomes the next president. A popular vote ensures that those 300+ million voices are heard in a more democratic manner. The second advantage of a direct popular election is that it would represent citizens equally. In the past, many states have been overlooked by candidates under the Electoral College system because their focus is on winning over swing states, states that could vote in favor of either major political party and are seen as important in determining the overall result of the presidential election. The consequence of this is that it gives too much power to only a handful of states in deciding the election results. A popular vote helps ensure that every citizen's vote has equal weight. The third reason why a direct popular election would be better is because it encourages voter turnout. If citizens knew that their vote would have a direct impact in deciding the outcome of the presidential election, they might feel more persuaded to vote. In contrast, citizens who live in states that overwhelmingly favor one candidate are less likely to vote under the Electoral College system because they believe it won't make a difference. However, since a popular vote does not emphasize the partisanship of each state, citizens feel more inclined to vote no matter where they live. Although a direct popular election has its many advantages, it is important to consider the flaws as well. Here are 3 reasons why a direct popular election would not be better than the Electoral College. Number 1. Regional candidates could win without having broad support throughout the country. If a candidate managed to secure a number of large cities, such as LA, Chicago, or New York, they could theoretically secure the presidency without having gained widespread support across the nation, which could lead to a fragmented and less unified country. The second reason why a direct popular election could be unfavorable is because it creates logistical challenges. Advocates of the Electoral College believe that it prevents voter fraud or illegally extended voting hours. All voting precincts across the country in a direct popular election would require careful oversight, especially in a close election. The Electoral College minimizes these types of logistical problems. Lastly, the third reason why a direct popular election is less advantageous than the Electoral College is because it polarizes the political system. The Electoral College encourages a two-party system due to winner-take-all voting. However, a popular vote would allow third parties to succeed. This would encourage radicalization of the political parties because they would no longer need to have a broad platform that appeals to a wide range of voters. As you can see, the Electoral College and a direct popular election both have their advantages and disadvantages, so it is hard to determine which system is truly better. However, after considering both options, we can conclude that a popular vote presents a reasonable alternative to the Electoral College.